Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And as so many Wednesdays recently have seen, we have the brand new Rat Run puzzle, Rat Run 29 Counterbalance by Marty Sears, who has just been astonishing us over this season. This is season 3 of these puzzles. I guess, well, the first 2 seasons have each had 10 puzzles, so is next week the final puzzle? It might be the final ever Rat Run, which is a horrifying thought. But we've already had lots of recommendations to try this, even though it only came out, I think. Actually, I can check, because I've got the Logic Masters. Oh my goodness! It was posted at 3:31 a.m., which I think is the first time anyone would have seen it. We've already had lots of emails saying this is one of the very best rat runs of all times, which is that is praise indeed. Let's in fact just read. Let's read the lore here. So Experiment 29, Khaki, from the 11th of March 1975. I don't know what I expected as I reviewed the latest footage from the miniature cameras. I assumed he'd be working on understanding more about clustered teleport placement and why this can lead to problems. But over several evenings, he hardly sat at his desk at all. He didn't even use the blackboard. Instead, he kept going into storage room B, at one point staying in there for over 2 hours. I have no logical explanation for this, and since he changed the access codes to the storage rooms last month, I've got no way of knowing something. I'd love to know what's going on in Marty's brain about sort of the overarching story here. But look at these comments. Hopefully, let me just check. Can you see those? Yeah, you can see those on the screen. There was one here from Smars, says it took nearly 3 hours to solve it. So it's presumably quite a bit more difficult than some of them. But anyway, I'm looking forward to having a go at this. And we'll read the rules together in a moment or two's time. Apologies about my voice. You can probably tell I'm a little bit under the weather. But that's certainly not going to stop me from trying to solve this puzzle, that is for sure. And I have made some small changes to my microphone. I think because I'm a bit ill, I'm swallowing more than usual, and that annoyed some of you. So I am trying to address it. And I apologise if I'm even more annoying than usual. What else can I tell you about, though, before we kick off? I will quickly mention that I know Marty has been working on Rat Run themed merchandise. So I think there should certainly be a Rat Run t-shirt very soon. We have got a new merch store we've been working with for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we're hoping to add Rat Run merch very soon. So if that might be interesting, keep an eye on that. I'll try and remember to put a link to that on the screen. What else? Let's have a look at this. This is what is going on over on Patreon this month. This is our monthly competition. You can see the solve numbers here are quite incredible. 6 puzzles have had over 1,000 solves. But where are we? Puzzle 12 is the key. And 501 of you had solved that. 555, so 50 more people have managed to get through all of the puzzles in Blob's Hunt. Incredible work from everybody. Really is fantastic. Do get involved. The puzzles are lovely, not too difficult. I mean, they have enough crunch, so don't think you're going to breeze through them in moments. I think even the cleverest amongst you will take more than moments, but you will enjoy them. And they're over on Patreon right now, and you've still got 9 days left if you're interested in trying to win the competition and come onto the channel and solve a puzzle. Now, birthdays. Let me look at my list of birthdays. Matthew, your wife Beth wrote to me. I think you're in upstate New York, if I'm not mistaken. And you're having Italian food and either chocolate silk pie or cheesecake for dinner. What is chocolate silk pie? I could probably get on board with that. Cheesecake, not so much, unless it's sort of English-style cheesecake, which I think is very different from American-style cheesecake, because English cheesecake has a very biscuity, firm base, which, especially if it's got chocolate icing on top, is delicious. Maverick's about to fly over. It's a lovely day here today. Spring has nearly sprung, I think, so there might be a little bit of aeroplane noise in the background. But anyway, Matthew, it's your birthday, and I like the way that your wife Beth described watching Cracking the Cryptic. I think you both watch, and she said that they like watching because everything on the channel has an answer, which in an uncertain world is quite reassuring, and I know exactly what you mean. So Beth, thank you for those words, and Matthew, many happy returns. I hope the chocolate silk pie wins, and I hope it is as good as it sounds it could be. Next, Jess, your boyfriend Harry wrote to me. I think, Jess, you're at uni doing biomedical engineering. And Harry was pretty effusive about you, Jess. Let me tell you, he says that you're an amazing woman, smart, analytical, sweet, beautiful, confident, and he loves you a lot. He claims that all you've actually asked for as a birthday present is a shout out. Well, that's very easily done. So happy birthday, Jess. And apparently you're having a cruffin for your birthday, which is a cross between a croissant and a muffin. And do you have two puppies as well, Echo and Bo? That could be wrong, but that's what I seem to have written on my piece of paper. So Jess, I hope you have a great birthday. I'm not sure I can totally get on board with a cruffin, but if it's got enough icing on it, it'll probably tastes nice. Next, Bella. Bella, you've turned 20 today, and I know this because your best friend Ari wrote to me. I think you're down in Australia, and you're about to start your journey on a career in nursing, so very good luck with that. I'm told that you were in the top 3% of viewers on Cracking the Cryptic last year, so that's incredible. Thank you very much for watching so often, and Bella, many happy returns. And then last birthday is for Julie. Julie, your boyfriend, is it Ayush? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Says that you're the kindest, smartest person he knows. And he's taking you to a cat cafe for your birthday. Is that what it sounds like? Literally, there's loads of cats. I have never heard of that in my life. And he apologises because some of your presents have been delayed by international airline restrictions, which I guess there are more of at the moment. So Julie, I hope you have a brilliant birthday despite that. I hope you enjoy the cat cafe, and I hope it serves heavily iced chocolate cake. And with that said and done, why don't we have a look at Rat Run 29, Counterbalance by Marty Sears. I will just quickly dab my nose, and we'll have a look at the rules to the puzzle. We have got normal Sudoku rules applying, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Look at these. The rats are next to the cupcakes. Why can't they go there directly? The aim of the experiment is that Finkz and Phinx, Finkz with an F and Phinx with a PH, must both reach different cupcakes by finding a path through the maze. The paths must not visit any cell more than once, share cells, cross themselves or each other, or pass through any thick maze walls, as well as moving orthogonally, which means in a sort of cardinal direction, east, north, south or west. They may move diagonally if there's a 2 by 2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. So let's see if we can find one. Yeah, so that would be an illegal movement, but that would be an allowable movement. This one is illegal because it goes through the round wall spot. Now, what next? One-way doors. A purple arrow may only be passed through in the direction it's pointing. An arrow always points to the smaller of the 2 digits it sits between. So these sort of operate in 2 ways, that they affect the path, because you couldn't go north through this one, but also they're inequalities, so that digit has to be bigger than this one. Redcurrants. If a redcurrant sits between 2 digits, one is odd and the other is even, so they're like parity dots. And the test constraint today, in this experiment, any digit on Finkz with an F's path indicates exactly how many times that digit appears on Fink's path. And the same rule applies separately for Finkz with a PH's path. So it's like a counting circles rule, isn't it? So if this one goes like that, say you put 3 on the path, you'd have to put 3 3s on the path. That's a fascinating rule, actually. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, why can't the rats just go straight? Okay, so... Oh, well, actually, they can't, can they? Because of the funny rule. Because any path that the rats take is going to have more than one cell. And once it's got more than one cell, you're going to have to repeat a digit. Because say you can't just put the digit 1 on the path, is what I'm thinking. So any digit you put on the path would need to appear more than once on the path, but within a Sudoku box could never appear more than once, because that will, by definition, break the rules of Sudoku. So Marty started this. It was quite a comedy thing by immediately appreciating that this is just instantly broken. Or, well, I know, but what that means is that all of the path pieces, if you like, have to go straight out of the boxes, don't they? So what we should do is christen the 2 rats first, because I can't. Obviously, Finkz and Phinx, they sound exactly the same. So let's use Pinks and Inks. That's what I meant to do. And then these 2 for the cupcakes. We don't know whether these are pinks or inks, do we? So we'll just use. Maybe I should use different colours. I'll do that. And then hopefully at some point we'll work out whether green is pinks or green is inks. Right, well, Pinks has to go east, because otherwise she'd go through the one-way door. So I can do that. She can't go north. She'd go through the one-way door the wrong way. So Pinks could do that. And that would be, how long would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a path of length 7 is... That feels difficult. The only way you could... No, you can't actually do that. Right, okay, so the way I'm thinking about this, which might not be the correct way, but it's my way, is... Imagine that you didn't have a digit on that path that was higher than 3. Then the maximum length of the path could be 6, because we could have 3 3s on the path, 2 2s on the path, and a 1 on the path. And that is 6. Now we know this path would be length 7. So we know that there is a bigger number than 3 on the path. But once there's a bigger number than 3 on the path, let's say 4, there has to be 4 4s on the path. But there are only 3 rows on that path, so you can't put 4 of any digit on this path. So I think so we don't go down. That doesn't mean that green isn't Pinks. It just means that the way that Pinks gets to green, if indeed she does, is not directly. Right, so the green path has to not go up for the same reason that the Pinks path doesn't go down. And, oh, that's lovely. Right, now I'm going to change logic, but reuse my logic, because here, that's the same shape I've just looked at here, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's the same shape. That's only covering 3 rows and 3 columns of the grid. You can't have 4 different digits in it. So green doesn't go west. Green must go east, and blue, which is inks, doesn't go east. Yeah, and okay, and that's going to work again. Look, if inks goes west, she's going to bump like that, and that path is length 7 as well. So the same logic works there. So So inks has to go down, I think. Let me just think that through again. I think that's right, isn't it? I can't see another way of moving there. So now green and inks are in the same box, which... Well, what does that mean? That means that they could meet up in the box. Well, they either meet up in the box or they don't. I mean, that's such a fatuous thing to say. I apologise, sorry. I'm distracted by my cold. Yeah, I'm just thinking, if they don't meet up in the box, then both strands of green and inks will have to get out of the box, which looks like green will have to go north and inks would have to go down there. So... But how do you do that then? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that doesn't work. Right. There is a reason that inks and green don't meet up in this box, I think. Now, the way I'm seeing that is that if they did meet up, then this path, let me just highlight it, would only visit 4 boxes of the Sudoku, which means that it would be possible to have a 4 on the path, but no digit higher than 4, because if you try to put a 5 on the path, you'd need 5 instances of that digit on the path, and there are only 4 boxes, so that's not going to happen. So the highest digit you could put on it is 4, which means the longest path you could have is the triangular number for 4. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is only 10. Now the path would inevitably be longer than 10. That's already 5, isn't it? And that's already 5, and they haven't joined up yet. So the path, if we did try and join these up in box 9, would be longer than 10, and therefore they don't join up in box 9. Now that means that... Right, that means that inks is going to go there, which means she's going to go there, and it means that green is going to go here, which means green is going to go there. So green has arrived in the same 3x3 box as pinks. Right, so green is pinks, I think. Okay, let's is that right? All I'm thinking there is, imagine that we tried to make green not join up with pinks in this box. How would we do that? Well, one of the lines could go out through this cell, but both of them can't. So you can't get them both out of the box. So they do join up, which means green needs to be replaced with pinks. So let's do that. And now we can work out the maximum length of this, can't we? Because, well, it's not the same actually as the path when we were looking at these 4 boxes, because actually pinks has gone into box 9, so we have got 5 boxes that the paths visited. So that means we could have a maximum length for pink's path of 15. If we had 5 5s on it, 4 4s, 3 3s, 2 2s and a 1, that would work. So how long is this path at the moment? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Well, at least one of those. So 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Bother. Well, hang on. So that's seriously constrained, though, isn't it? Because Well, there's many things that we can see immediately from that. If the path is at least 14 long, it must have a 5 on it. Because if it didn't, the maximum length of the path is going to be 10. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And 14 is definitely bigger than 10. There's a knowledge bomb for you. I should put that on a t-shirt. 14 is bigger than 10. I was going to say that's a 5. That's no, one of those is a 5. It visits 5 boxes. So in every box, whatever path Phinx takes has to include a 5. So one of these is a 5, one of those is a 5. One of these is a 5. So 5 in column 4. It can't go in any of these 6 cells, so it's in one of those 3. Yeah, okay, here's another point. This isn't one I'd actually thought of before, but I'm going to make it. The path has already spent 4 cells of time, or area indeed, in box 6. So it can't spend 6 cells in box 6, because then it would have to include a digit that's at least a 6, which we know it can't do. It's only going to 5 boxes. So actually, this is clever. This is clever. What this is doing is it's saying that Phinx spends 5 cells only in this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of these to join the path up. Gosh, that sounds like a very noisy maverick. I don't know how she does that, but then you'll have to include the digits 1. They will have to be the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because we know we can't include a higher digit. So we know the actual length of the path now is 15, not 14. So there has to be a rinky-dink, which can't be in this box, because we can't rinky-dink in the box, otherwise we'll take 6 cells. So we have to rinky-dink here somehow. We can't go we can't go directly. That is also true for a different reason I've just seen. Sorry about my cold. But no, we can't go directly for this reason. We are definitely putting 1 on the path in box 6, and there is only then 1 1 on the path. So if the path did go straight across, there would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there would be 2 1s on the path, which there can't be. Well, hang on, that's weird, because that means this cell just simply can't be on the path, however you get there, because that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that cell's sort of blocked. That's not on the path. So we have to go up and then through the gap, and we can't go in here. And has that used up our degree of freedom? Yes, it has. We can't go here, or we'll take 5 cells in box 3. And again, there would have to be a 1 on that path, and there's going to have to be a 1 on that path. That's too many 1s. So that, we've sort of got an elephant at the top here as the path. And there has to be a 5 on that stretch. Don't know what that means, but well, actually, I'm going to change my mind there. Those 4 cells, we know these cells, somehow, the Phinx paths in box 6 have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've used the 1 on the path. Now this is 4 cells of path, so these are all different digits. They have to be 2, 3, 4, 5, don't they? Actually, there's a 5 in one of these. So these ones are 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on, I've seen something else. Look at column 7. I've got 5 cells of Phinx. So these are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I know the 1 is definitely in box 6, so there is a 1 on this redcurrant. Now that means that the other digit on the red currant is even. So this is either 1, 2 or 1, 4. And this digit is 2, 3, 4 or 5. Sorry about this. Okay. What does that mean? Oh, lovely. Here's a weird point. This red currant, it must have a 5 on it because we have to put 5 5s on Pink's path. So in every box she visits, there's a 5 on that segment. Now, this is on a red currant. So that needs an even digit with it. So this, okay, let's get rid of this. This is either 5 with 2 or 5 with 4. So 3 in column 7 now is in box 3. So these are not 3s. Now this red currant has an even digit on it. So this has got to be 1, not 1 because 1's there. It's got to be 3 or 5. Right, hang on. 5, where's 5 in box 3? It's in that domino, isn't it? And 5 in box 9 is in this domino, so where is 5 in column 9? It's got to be in one of those 3 cells. But the 5 here has to be on the path, because we know that the path in this box takes the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is not 5. Because if this is 5, we spend too many cells. We'd have 6 cells in box 6. So one of these is a 5. One of those is a 5. So where's 5 in row 6? Don't know, but it's in one of those 3. 5 in row 1 is in one of those 3. 5 isn't there, look. Now, got something. This is beautiful, by the way, Marty. I mean, I expect nothing less, but it is beautiful. This line, you can keep using it because on this segment, somewhere in there, a 2 is on the path. And there is definitely a 2 on the path in box 3, isn't there? And that means that all the 2s have been used on the path, because there are only going to be 2 2s on the path. So that means that this doesn't have 2 on it. And that is a 4 5 pair. So we've got a 4 on the path here, a 4 on the path somewhere here, a 4 on the path there. That's 3 4s. There should be one more 4 on the path. It's either going to be there or there. And then what about 3s on the... is it... Okay. So we're not going to know, are we? I think... Yeah, in one, either here or here, you're going to have the 4th 4. And then that's going to prevent you in that box from having the 3rd 3. So these digits are from 3, 4 and 5. I mean, that's... Well, I was going to say that's fatuous, but actually... I've got a quadruple in row 4, which I think I'd already known about if I'd thought about it slightly differently. That's got to be higher than 3. That's not very interesting. What about this column? Can we do something with this column? Actually, one thing you can do with this column is observe that inks, these 2 digits, they're massive. They are massive because I've already used 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in the column. So those are at least 6, 7. No memeing, but they are at least 6, 7. So that means that Inks's path... Well, I'll tell you one thing that means. Inks has gone down here into box 9, and then somehow she's going to go along here. If she was to go north, she'd bump into this cell. And that definitely hasn't used 7 boxes, has it? 1, 2, 3. No, nothing like. So because we know there must be at least a 7 on Inks's path, the overall path of Inks must take 7 cells, at least 7 boxes at least. So this doesn't go. No, it doesn't go north. It goes that way, which means it goes that way. So wait a sec. Why am I having difficulty counting this? That's weird. 1, 2. Yeah. So it's still not good. It's not good at all. Because if these two joined up together in this box, we've still only taken 5 different boxes on Ink's path, and one of these digits is at least a 7. So right, hang on. So we need to correct all this, don't we? This is definitely Inks. We've known that for ages. Inks must go to here somehow. Don't know how. But then not bump into the cupcake now, because the path will not be correct. So that is actually forced. And then, no. I was going to say and then that, but that's not true, because she could go there and then this could go there or there. But even once Inks has got into box 1, which she's going to have to do, she's still going to have to get into this box as well, because that she needs to get to 7 boxes. Yeah, so Inks is not going to go. There's no way Inks can go into that box. And there's almost no way she can go into that box. Let me just think about that. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 down here. 6. These gaps are all 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know these can't be 9. It's impossible, because Inks definitely doesn't go into box 6. That's definitely clear. So is it possible that one of these is really an 8? No, actually that's lovely. You can't have one of these as an 8, because that would prevent you. Let me try and explain. If we put 8 on the path, then there are 8 8s on the path. But the only place you could get the 8th 8, given you can't get an 8 in this box at all, is this would have to be an 8 on the path. But if we're making one of those an 8, you can't do that by Sudoku. So this is 6, 7. This is 8, 9. This is 8, 9. And what does that mean? So, oh, there's a funny bird noise. Can you hear that? That's a new type of bird. I haven't heard that one before. Okay, here is a different point that I feel is valid. 5 is not on the Inks path. Because how could it be? If 5 was on the Inks path, you'd have to put 5 5s on the Inks path, but there are already 5 5s that have been hypothecated to the Phinx path, and that would be 10 5s, and there aren't 10 5s in the Sudoku. Another T-shirt. So I get to place 5 in box 8, which means 5 is not on. Oh, 5 is not on the Inks path at all. So, I mean, it's a small point, but what that means is that however Inks moves through this box, she doesn't take that route, because whichever one of these was a 5 would be on the path, and then you'd have to put 5 5s on the path, and so those cells are not on the path. So these These two cells must be, mustn't they? Because the path for inks needs to get into this box to pick up 7 sevens. So these can't join together. So that must be... I'm not wrong. No, I'm not wrong about that. That must be correct. So these are both on the path. And okay, if that went diagonally now, this couldn't get to that cell, which it needs to do. So actually, that's how the path moves. Now this is on... Well, so that must be how we move from there. Oh, but then we could go diagonally, couldn't we? That's rotten, I'm afraid. So, yeah, okay, so that's how it looks. That's forced, but I don't know how it moves. I don't think I can say with any abiding certainty that this doesn't rinky-dink. Something like these things I think are possible. I do know these don't join up, but I don't think I know how inks gets into box 2. So, right. So, okay, I now know that inks has a 4 on her path. And I know that because of where 4 is in box 8. I've got 4 on this domino, so 4 is definitely on the path. Oh, but hang on. Oh, hang on, I've made a mistake, I'm afraid. I've made a mistake. Ah, I've got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. I've done something wrong. I've got a problem in this box because Oh, good grief, I know what he's done. Oh my goodness, Marty, you are clever. Oh, that is sick. It's genius. It's absolute genius. Right, look at this box and let's think about what we can put off the path. Anything we put on the path has to appear that many times on the path. And there is one digit. Well, I thought there were 2. That's why I thought I made a mistake. I thought 8 and 9 were definitely not on the path. The weird thing is that logic was correct here. You couldn't put 8 here. You really couldn't. So it was correct to say this was a 6-7 pair for the reasons said. But what I extrapolated from that in my brain was my brain said, so 7 is the highest digit on the path. But that's not true. And we can see it's not true from this box, where I could absolutely put 9 there, and I will, because there's absolutely no way inks gets into box 6. But that means 8 is on the path in box 8. And if 8 is on the path in box 8, the incredible thing is that the path can get 8 8s if this is an 8 and this is a 9 and the path has to get there. So the path's going to do that. The path's going to have to do that. And now the path can't do that. I don't know whether the path does this. Well, hang on. I can't put 9 on the path in this box. Oh, this is so clever. So 9 has to go here. That is not on the path. So that means that this doesn't drop down here. It must just go diagonally, I think. I don't know whether that rinky-dinks. But no, okay, let's think about 9. Yeah. Where's 9 in box 5? There. Where's 9 in box 4? Don't know, but it's definitely in the same cells that 5 is, because 5 isn't on the path. So this is a 5-9 pair. I don't know what that means, I'm afraid. Probably something. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. So that, right, so there must be... Well, hang on, I can now work out the length of the path, can't I? That might be wrong. That might be wrong. I'm not sure, actually. I know 8's on the path, I know 7's on the path, I know 6 is on the path, I know 5 is not on. I'm talking about the inks path here. I know 5 isn't, I know 4 is. I know 1 and 2 are from box 2. So the only question is whether 3 is on the path. Now, how would we work that out? Because I'm wondering whether... Well, no, it's fine, actually. Oh, no, it's fine. 3 is on the path. Yeah, because look at... Okay, the way to think about this is to look at box 2 and say, where's 1? Now, 1 is clearly on the path. Now that means there's only 1 on the path. So in this box, that has to be 1. Now, that has lots of effects. So now 3 is on the path in box 8. So all of the digits other than 9 and 5 are on the path. Now, the secret then tells us there are 31 cells on the path. The secret is something I share with only my very favourite people, but if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is that the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45. Now, we know that the only digits not on the inks path are 5 and 9, so we just deduct 14 from 45, we get 31. So the total length of the path is 31. Now, what else do we know? Because I think we know quite a lot of other things. I know that there are 2 2s on the path. I know one of them is in that box and one of them is in that box. So in every other box, 2 and... Okay, yeah, that's beautiful. So in this box, where are the 1 and the 2? They've got to be there, because they've got to be kept off the path. Oh, I see. And now the path... Sorry, this has probably been determined for ages, but that's how the path's got to move there. It doesn't go into the 1 or the 2. So... Right. Yeah, that's fine, isn't it? So where are 1 and 2 in this box? They can't be on the path, so they have to be here. So this is at 5 in the corner, I think. And so yes, 5, 9. Where's 9 in this box? It's not allowed to be on the path, so it's got to be there. Where is... I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. We could... These are not 5. Ah, that's got to be a 2 by parity. That's got to be a 1. So 1 is in one of these cells. 5 is not in the corner, so 5 has to be here. So this is 5, this is 1. This has to be even across the parity. So that's 2, 4, 6, or 8, and it's not 4. This 5 and 9 get resolved. And so now, oh, we mustn't hit the 5 here, must we? So we're going to have to go, oh dear. No, I have got a problem. I've got a problem in this box now. I'm going to have to go through the 1 or the 5 or I can't get out. Oh, what have I done wrong? I've done something wrong. That doesn't make sense. I've got to get out of this box. I've used the 1. I can't go through the 1. I've used a 2 here. There would be a 2 here. It would be on the path. I don't know. Something's gone awry here. Where have we made an error? I felt like this had to be a 1-2 pair. That felt completely correct. How can that not be correct? That looks right, doesn't it? I'm not shying away from that decision. That looks correct. Have I made a misassumption about... Maybe I've done something wrong in terms of how the path moves through box 1. But I don't know what that is. I have. Oh, bobbins, I've just seen what I've done wrong. Okay, so what I've done wrong... This is a problem. Well... It is. I don't think the logic in general is a problem. I don't think. Let me just think that through. Yeah, the logic in general is true. So the fact that this box had to have an 8 on the path, that was all completely forced. That's been forced forever. But what I've got wrong is how the path moves through box 1. Now, can you see the problem? I thought, and I went to great lengths explaining, that these 2 cells had to be used. And what I overlooked, look, was why couldn't you do that and never visit this cell? Now, so I think what we're going to have to do, I don't think it's going to matter too much, actually. I'm going to take this back for the path and just basically say I haven't got a clue how the path moves through box 1. But I think the logic of having to get to an 8, that's still true. So the way that the path moves through box 2 is correct. The fact that the path must hit a 1 in box 2 is correct. That does place the 1 down here, so that's correct. That does mean that 2 is on the paths in these 2 boxes, so that logic is correct. That does mean that this is a 1-2 pair. But what this might mean is that there is a problem. What I did was, because I thought all 4 of those were path cells, I said this is a 1-2 pair with a 5 in the corner. But this could be a 1-2, can't be a 5. But okay, so but 2 can't go in those cells or these. If this went diagonally, that's still illogical, isn't it? Because then that would force this here and it would have to go round and hit a 5. So that does go to there. I'm happy with that. And I suspect that's forced as well now, but I'm not so sure about that. So Oh, I've just seen another way as well that we could go through. Box 1, sorry, we could do either that or that, and then straight down. So, okay, but we worked out the length of the path was 31. Oh, I tell you what I could do, you know. How does the path get through box 7? Because one thing, the reason that this all came to light, that I had a problem, was I realised I couldn't go through a 1-5 pair here. Now, if the path did come down this galleyway, it would hit a 5, so it can't do that. It's got to do that. Of course, it now could do that, or a variety of other things. But 1 in box 7 is restricted. That's got to be in one of those 2 cells, I think. Oh dear, my illness is getting me. Okay, so how could we make more? Maybe I've got to count how many digits. Like, it would be very surprising if this wasn't an 8-7 pair, wouldn't it? I mean, I've got to get an 8 on the path in box 9. Or maybe it's the overall meta length of the path. That's also possible. So let's say I picked up an 8 here, so I spent as little time as possible in box 9. That would be 3 cells. 3, another 6 is 9. 10, let's go quickly. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's say 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So there are very few. Oh, 30. I didn't do the rat. So there's hardly any degrees of freedom. We can wiggle once, is what we've just learnt. We can do 1 wiggle. Or spend like an extra moment of time in box 9, for example. So what does this mean? I don't know. I've got to get a 7 in every box that Inks visits, because she doesn't go in this box and get a 7, and she doesn't go in that box and gets a 7. So in order to put 7 7s on the path, this is a 7-8 pair. Now, is that in any way interesting? Possibly not. These digits are 1, 6, 7, 8. That is not a 1. So if that was 7 or 8, that would be on the path, and that would cause a rinky-dink. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do that. Okay. So let's think about 6s for a moment. There are 6 6s on the path. There is no 6 on Inks's path in this box. There's no 6 on the path in this box, and there's no 6 on her path in this box either. So every other box that Inks visits must have a 6 on the path. So we've now worked out that a 6, 7, or an 8 in this box is on the path. So that is on the path. That is on the path. And 1 or 2 is not on the path. So that's on the path. So that's the path. And that's the rinky-dink. Neither of these can be a 1. This has to be a 1. That means 1 is restricted in box 9. Now, so I think now we have to be efficient. I'm going to double check that because I'm not sure I trust that deduction. But I've worked out, I believe, that the length of the line is 31. It just is. That's not conjecture. It is 31. So 1, 2, let's say that for 3 to get the 8. 9, let's say we go efficiently. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Perfect. So we have to go efficiently. We have to do that. We can't rinky-dink here and go there and there. That's the way to prove that, which means we have to do that. We can't rinky-dink. We haven't got the time to do it. And one of these is an 8. I don't know which one, though. So one of those is an 8 in box 6. You know the tragedy, and it is a tragedy, and I'll say this to you all quite earnestly and with a hint of sadness. I think this video will probably be viewed by tens of thousands of people. And that is sad, because this belongs in a museum, doesn't it? This is just... It is epically brilliant. It is epically brilliant to have 2 rats and 2 cupcakes and this weird counting rule that forces... And Marty's had the idea quite clearly that it would be quite funny if somehow the rat, one of the paths got 8 digits on a path, and then he set it up in such a way that it's just possible and you can just find it, and you even get fooled into thinking 7's the highest digit, which is already quite a big digit and quite a surprise. It's beyond brilliant what he does with these puzzles. It's beyond brilliant. 9 is in one of those cells I've just noticed by Sudoku. So probably what we have to do... Okay, let's try and do it. So what do we know? We know 1 and 2 are off the path in here. I've pencil marked the 1, but... So that's big, isn't it? So where's the... Oh no, I missed one. I was about to do a 1-2 pair and I forgot. Well, not I forgot, I misscanned it. So the 2 is in one of those 3 cells. Oh, that's distressing. All right, but what about 9? 9's in one of 4 cells. Okay, so perhaps I know 6, 7 and 8 will be on the path in here. So maybe I should put that in. And this one's got all digits on it. This one, no, it doesn't, does it? Because it's going to have a 3 or a 4 missing. So hang on, how does this work? So whatever the digit is here, 3 or 4 is not going to be on the path there. What's that digit? It can't be 1 or 2. It can't be 5. Yeah, that's 3 or 4, isn't it? So how does that work? Don't know. Oh, just noticed something. 2 in this row. Where is it? The answer is I don't know as usual, but it's in one of those 2, so it's not in there. So 5 is definitely in this. Oh, I knew that already. So one of the digits 3, 4 and 5 is on the line, but only one in box 2. I think we already knew that. But if that was a 3, then 3 would be twice on the lines in these boxes. One here and then once up there. 1, 2, be on the line there, 3. Be on the line there, that doesn't work. Right. Okay, try not to cough, Simon. Let's think about 3, whether this could be a 3. If this is a 3, then this is a 4, 5 pair, which means this is a 2, 3 pair, which means 3 is in one of those cells on the line in box 2. So we've got 1 here on the path, 1 here on the path, 2, 1 here on the path, 3, and 1 in box 4 on the path. We can't do that. We can't have 4 3s on the path. So this is 4, 5, 3. So now we get a 2, 4 pair here, which means this is a 3, 5. I think that's going to mean that we've got, yeah. So now on the Phinx path, we've got 3 3s. 1 here, and then something in this box. So we can't have another 3 here. So this becomes a 4, 5, which means these digits in the rest of box 5 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And 1 is in one of those two. So 1 is in one of these two. You've got to put an odd digit on that parity dot. Which odd digit should we select? We can't put 1, 3, 5, or 9 on it, so that's got 7 on it, which actually does something. That gets me an 8 here. It would do if I could use my Sudoku powers, such as they are, to overcome my cold powers. Okay, so that's going to be good. So that's going to give me an 8 here, 7 here, 7 in one of those. So 7 now in row 7 is a little restricted. It's in this domino. So 7 is going to accompany an even digit here that isn't 8. So these are from 2, 4, 6, 7, and that's not 4. Oh, that's useless, sorry. So, okay, I've still got to put 3 3s. Oh yeah, I still do have to do that, actually. I have to put 3 3s. Ah, yeah, I see what that does. Yeah, I've got to put 3 3s on Inks's path. There is no 3 on the path here. There is 1 here, 1 here, and none here. So there must be a 3 in one of these. So these are known. These digits here are 3, 6, 7, and 8, which probably will do something. I might have to blow my nose. I apologise for this. Where are we? 1 hour and 3. I will try and edit this out. Sorry. Okay. So what were we saying? We've got 3, 6, 7, 8 here. So 4 is in one of those 3 by Sudoku. And I know that the 7 is not in those 2 because of where 7 is in rows 8 and 9 in boxes 8 and 9. And that might matter, he says desperately. I don't see why. No, okay, I'm not sure what I can do with that. So, oh, maybe we just pencil mark, do we? 6, 7, and 9 in box 3. No, that didn't do anything. No, that didn't do anything, I'm afraid. That digit is not many things. What is that? It could obviously be 2. No, it's naked. This is a naked single. Naughty Marty putting this in the puzzle. It's outrageous. Can't be 3, 6, 7, 8 from the box. Can't be 1, 9, 4, 5 from the row. So that's a 2. Now surely that's going to do something. Nearly is the answer to that. What do we... Oh, it's 3, 6, 7, 8. Well, and we know 7 is over here. So 3, 6, 8. Yes, that's good. Look at row 7 now. And let's look at row 7, column 9. By Sudoku, this is 3, 6, or 8. But see, we know 6 and 8 are down here in the box. So that is a 3. That's quite interesting, actually. Because that's a 5 now. Which means that's a 4 and that's a 5. That's actually doing something. Or actually maybe it's... maybe it's not. Okay, so this digit is 6 or 8. 5, 5, yeah. It's still going a little bit, this. 5 and 4 get placed in and around this neighbourhood. And we know... So I've got a 1 on there and a 5 on there. So it's 2, 3, and 4 that I've got to put on the rest of the pinks line in box 6. And I suppose we know these digits now. These are 1, 2, 8, and 9, but we know that the 8 needs to be near the 6, 7 because there's only going to be one rinky-dinkage here. And we know these aren't 1s by Sudoku. So... no, I don't know what to do there. Maybe, oh yeah, 5s. 5s I can do more with. Oh, 3 on the bottom side of that inequality is the least exciting thing we could have got from that. 3, okay, so 3 is one of those 3 digits. Oh, I'd love to know where 5 was here, because it could affect the parity line, couldn't it? And I've got to put... Well, where's 1 in this box? I've got to make sure that's got to be in one of those positions. Oh, I tell you something. On the parity line here, I need an even digit this time. I can't have 4, 6, or 8, so I've got to have 2. That's huge. That's got to go there. Well, oh, bother. Okay, that takes 2 out of this cell, which is the most... Okay, and it does mean the corner has to be odd. But... it can't be 1. So 3, 5, not 7, because 7's down here, or 9. Okay. Not sure what to do with that. Maybe I've got to pencil mark these cells a bit more diligently. What are they? They are 1s, 4s, 9s, and 5s. Let's hope this gets me somewhere. I really hate having a cold. It is very annoying, especially when you're trying to solve a puzzle in an uninterrupted way. If I knew the parity of this, it would really work in a beautiful way, but I don't think I do. Where do we think we look now? You see, this cell is really restricted. That sees 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. And it's 9, is it? Because it sees a 1, 2 pair as well. Yeah, that's naked. That's naked 9. That's outrageous. So, does that do something for us? Yeah, that really does, actually. That's now a 4, and that's a 5 on this parity line down here. So, I get a 1, 9 pair down there. And I get, oh wow, hang on. I think I get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. This is a 6, 7, or 8 by Sudoku. Not 7 because of this. And these two cells, well, where's 5 in this box? It's got to be here. So 5, 1, 1 all go in a little flurry of activity. 1, 9 into box 7. That could do something for, yeah, that's great. Where's 1? 1's got to be in the corner of box 9. Ah, that's nearly very helpful. We might be able to do more here. Just got to spot, I think, 1 or 2 more things, and we might be home and host. Come on, Simon, what is it? What's Marty done here? Oh, I get an 8 in that box, so I'll set that, which means this is a 6, of course. So that's worth it. That's definitely worth learning about. So this digit is not high, which, well, I suppose we knew that because it had to be on Phinx's path, but it is. It's only got the ability to be 2 or 3. Actually, that could be good. Yeah, in this box it can't be 1, 5, or 4, so it's 2 or 3. That seems to be a pair in the row. So this is 1, this is 4, and this is 1. So this is 1 and this is 2. Now, so, well, I need to put 2 and 3. Well, where's 2 in this box? Remember, we have to close Phinx's path with some sort of alacrity. So there's only 1 Phinx digit in these cells, and it's not 2 because of this. So that must be 2. One of these has to be 3, which is going to have to be that one. That tells us the Phinx path. Phinx path is done, although the Sudoku part of it isn't. 4, 2. And this is a 6, 7 pair, which might not be resolved, but it does give me a 6, 7 pair in column 9. So that's 9, that's 2, that's 8, that's 9. Now that's huge for the inks path, which has to do that. This digit is not 9 anymore. Oh no, so this is 4, 6, or 7, and oh goodness, it seems to be able to be all of them, except we can keep going here. I've got a 2, 6 pair here. So 7, 7, 6, 6. This is 4 or 7. This is not 7. Oh. I've got a 7 down there, look. So this is 4. That's 7. 7. Oh. Yeah, we'd already thought about the parity, hadn't we? So 2 or 6 there. So 2, 6, 8 triple I can see in the row. And apparently I can't do that at all. So, alright, but these 2 digits, we must be able to do those. 4 and 7, yeah, we can, 4 and 7. And these 2 digits are going to have to be 3 and 8, which somehow isn't resolved. I've basically done the puzzle. How can it be? I probably an equality sign. I was suddenly thinking it'll probably be an inequality sign that I've not noticed, but that only got rid of 2 from this one. And box. Ooh. Oh, no, I was about to say something that's not true, so I should refrain from that. 3? The bottom of column 7 is done. That's got to be a something, a 4. Actually, that doesn't resolve it, does it? So column 5, 2, 3, 6, 8. This digit is 3, 6, or 8. 2, 3, or 6 into this cell. And in this column, I need 2, 6, 7, 8. This can't be 2. And this can't be 8. Oh, this can't be 8. So that's 3 or 6. Which... 7. Oh, no. I can't do this. Is it that one? It's got to have an odd digit on it. So it's either a 3 on the bottom or a 7 on the top. Oh, God, that's lovely. Right. It's not 3 on the bottom. Because if we do put 3 on the bottom, we can't put an even digit on top of it. That's beautiful. Look at this. If that's 3, this is 6. Look at where the 8 would be in column 2. The 8 would be... This would be an 8. This would be a 6. This has no even digit option, so that can't be right. So this is not 3, which means it's even, so this is odd. So 7, 8, 7. Now, this might work, actually. That might be quite the step. Yeah, that's still going. That's still going. 6 is 7. 7 goes here. This has become an 8. So 6, 6, 2, 6, 2, 3, 8. Yeah, it's working, isn't it? 2. Yes, it is. 3, 8, 5, 9. Marty, you are a complete genius. That is utter genius. What a setup and what an execution. Let's see. Yes. Right. What's it say? Test date, 11th of March 1975. Cells visited 46. Red currants eaten 4. One-way doors used 0. The 2 rats have settled into a natural rhythm that suits them both, navigating the mazes almost as if they were a single unit. Finkz continues to explore with her usual energy and curiosity, while Finkz with a PH provides a steadier sense of direction. Rather than slowing them down, these contrasting approaches appear to complement each other remarkably well. Oh, gosh. It's just fantastic. 101 people have solved that, and it's only been out 10 hours. That's one of the best. I think this season of Rat Run has been just outstanding. I mean, all the puzzles have been excellent, but 3 or 4 of them have been just, memorable, world class in the whole history of Sudoku. That is right up there. That is genius. I loved that 8. That is so clever, Marty. So clever. I'm sorry for my voice and my cold. I can't do anything about it. But forgive me. And do let me know how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.